We don't usually do video game content on this channel, but 2K just dropped their top 100 rated players for their 2K26 game, and I guess I can kind of just treat it as what they think their top 100 players in the NBA are. Make sure to like and subscribe. Go into the description, submit your video idea. Also, I guess follow the Twitter account as well. Haven't posted too much on that. Obviously, we just joined. But hey, if you're interested, maybe we'll start getting stuff going during the regular season. Let's jump right into it, though. The top 100 players, their top 100 list in the NBA. Bobby Portis, Shaedon Sharpe, Nesmith, Sarr, Johnson, Jalen Johnson, Nembhard, Quickly, Double O, PG, and Josh Hart, all 81s. Whoa. Bobby Portis, 81. The same overall as Shaedon Sharpe. The same overall as Jalen Johnson. The same overall as Double O and Yeka Okongwu. Are you serious? Even if he does deserve the 81, like I don't know how the ratings are skewed. If Bobby Portis deserves an 81, then Jalen Johnson's at least an 85, 86. He's not even. I wouldn't put him in the same tier as Bobby Portis in terms of player. Jalen Johnson was possibly on track to being an all-star before he got hurt last season and was out for the rest of the season. Paul George sucks to see. I remember when he was the cover of 2K. Now he's down to 81 overall. Other than that, again, Okongwu I think can be a little bit higher if he's on the same plane as Bobby Portis. That doesn't make any sense to me. Other than that, though, I think the ratings are okay. Alex Sarr, 81? Alex Sarr as good as Okongwu and Jalen Johnson right now? I don't know about that one. Already starting off pretty bad. Jalen Johnson, criminally underrated. Sarr, Portis, overrated. And honestly, I would throw Okongwu in there too as underrated. PG, I mean, sorry, not have a good season last year. Can't be too much on you. Next up is the 90 to 81. Draymond Green, Anthony Simons, CJ McCollum, DeJounte Murray. First of all, right off the bat, I think CJ McCollum is better than DeJounte Murray, especially last season. Even before DeJounte Murray had the season-ending injury, doesn't really perform the best with the New Orleans Pelicans. I would throw CJ McCollum, I don't know if maybe a couple overalls higher, but definitely above DeJounte Murray in terms of their rank. Drew Holiday, Herb Jones, Lou Dort, Walker Kessler, who's actually an 82 overall, Toumani Camara, and Jaden McDaniels. I would probably throw McDaniels maybe an overall or two higher compared to the rest of these guys. Other than that, though, yeah, I definitely think Drew Holiday and McCollum are better than DeJounte Murray. Maybe DeJounte Murray at 81 is cool, and you can bump the other two up, or maybe just drop DeJounte Murray down in the rankings. Other than that, though, these aren't too bad. Herb Jones, I'd like to obviously didn't play too much last season because of injury, but he's one of the best defenders in the NBA. He's also was a really good corner three-point shooter 2 years ago, shot over 40% from three. I think maybe down the line when they do the rating updates, he should be a high overall. Next up, 80 to 71. It looks like Cooper Flag. Oh, Cooper Flag is over. Jalen Johnson, the same Cooper Flag that hasn't stepped foot on an NBA court yet in his career, is over the guy who just averaged 20 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists last season. That makes no sense to me. What rank do they have Cooper Flag at, though? They have Cooper Flag ranked 79th in the NBA already? Are you serious? Over Jalen Johnson? I mean, I'll look at the top 80 guys. Hartenstein, 82. I think he could be an overall or two higher. Cooper Flag, I mean, if he's an 82 and Jalen Johnson's an 81, I think Flag should be like a 79 or something. Trey Murphy, the same overall as Cooper Flag? What? I think Trey Murphy is above Jalen Johnson. They're obviously on the same tier, but I would take him maybe a step above Jalen Johnson. But I would not put him and Cooper Flag in the same tier of players yet. Trey Murphy had his best season in his career last season. Was efficient, stayed on the court, was healthy, and everything. Same overall as the guy who hasn't stepped foot on an NBA court yet. That's crazy. Jalen Suggs, 82. Duran, 82. Vucevic, 82. That's all cool. Naz Reid, 82. I mean, actually, stepping it back, would I take a guy like Vucevic over? I mean, I guess they play different positions, but CJ McCollum, Drew Holiday, Herb Jones, Lou Dort, I don't know. But also Naz Reid, Danny Avdia, 82. Well, I think that's pretty low. Avdia had a really good season last year. I'd probably put him, Cooper, Trey Murphy, Jalen Johnson. I'd probably put them all at like an 84, 85. But then Brandon Miller, I understand that. He dealt with injuries last year. And Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon also pretty low. Very high impactful player. Perfect system fit for the Nuggets. I feel like he should also be a high overall. Yeah, wow. Cooper Flag better than Jalen Johnson. 2K, that is terrible. Now we get to 70. John Collins, 82. Honestly, I would probably bump John Collins down an overall or two compared to the rest of the guys I've seen. Again, I don't see how in what world he's better than Jalen Johnson. Josh Giddey, 82. Okay, I guess. RJ Barrett, 82. MPJ, 82. Steph Castle, 82. Steph Castle? Better than Jalen Johnson? I don't know. I definitely don't know about that one. Kobe White in 83. Okay, I think that's pretty fair. Dyson Daniels, 83. After winning Most Improved and Second in Depoy, he got 83. Okay. I think that's definitely pretty low, especially for Dyson Daniels. But I also think there's no way you can even remotely argue that Stephon Castle is the 66th best player in the NBA already. That Steph Castle is 30 spots over Jalen Johnson in the top 100 player list. I love Steph Castle. You guys know I'm a UConn fan. He's probably top 5 player, favorite player in the NBA for me right now. I love watching the Spurs. Have turned to one of my favorite teams. But there's no argument for him over Jalen Johnson. I think that's just a fact. Miles Turner, 83, and Jalen Green, 83. I think those are fine. Next up, 60 to 51. Desmond Bane, 83. Desmond Bane, pretty low. I'm surprised. I would put him probably higher. I don't know about 83. Jarrett Allen, 84. Also maybe a bit low. Norman Powell, 84. Okay. Gobert, 84. Mikal, 84. Brandon Ingram, 84. Also, maybe a little bit low. They're kind of disrespecting Brandon Ingram right now. I think he's going to have a really good season next year with the Raptors. Markkanen, 84. Porzingis, 85. Kristaps Porzingis right now is better than Brandon Ingram. Really? Is Kristaps Porzingis right now better than Jarrett Allen? You're taking Porzingis over Jarrett Allen right now? No, that's just not true. I'm going to go back to see who I would say a Porzingis over. Miles Turner, I'm taking him over Porzingis. Obviously, Jalen Johnson, if I want to go all the way back there. Also, obviously, we do know Porzingis, when he is completely healthy, he is very impactful on the NBA court. But we really haven't seen that over the last 1.5 seasons. So I'm not going to say full 2 seasons, but when the Celtics won the championship, he was dealing with a lot of injuries during the playoffs. And then last season, he just looked terrible in the playoffs. Dealt with injuries in the regular season, looked bad in the playoffs, was probably his worst year of his whole career. I don't agree with him being an 85. I'd probably bump him down 2 or 3 spots. There's no way he's the 53rd best player in the league. OG, 85 as well, and then Scotty Barnes, I think I can agree with that. Next up, we have the top 50 players with Austin Reeves being displayed. Okay, get into some hitters. DeMar DeRozan at an 85. Austin Reeves also at an 85. That's pretty high for Austin Reeves. I know they're probably going to want to push the Lakers because of the big market. LeBron James, Luka Doncic, everything they have going over there. But Austin Reeves is an 85. Better than Brandon Ingram. Even better than DeMar DeRozan, who's one rank underneath him. I disagree with that. I might even take I don't know if I'd take Avdija over him. You can make the argument. But over Brandon Ingram? You serious? I don't know about that one. Fox, 85. Also, I think underrated. I would 100% take Fox over Randall right now. They're an overall difference. LaVine, 85? What is even the argument for Zach LaVine to be underneath DeMar DeRozan right now? I think LaVine is the better player. Obviously, they're close, but I would probably give DeRozan 86, LaVine 87. Julius Randle, 86. Liked what I saw from him out of the playoffs, proving that he's not just a regular season-made player. Franz, 86? Franz, 86. No, he's got to be higher than that. Especially, I haven't seen Paolo Banchero yet, but I wouldn't have them more than 3 overalls away from each other, or maybe even 2 overalls away from each other. And I don't think they're going to have Banchero in the 80s. So, Franz 86, completely disrespectful. Jamal Murray, that makes sense at 86. Tyrese Maxey at 86. I know his efficiency did drop off last season when he was the true number 1 without Joel Embiid, but even that feels a little bit low compared to the tier of players he is with right now. They have Amen Thompson an overall over Tyrese Maxey. That's just not right. He's not an overall above Tyrese Maxey. He's not a better player than Tyrese Maxey right now, in my opinion. Tyler Hero, 86. I could probably agree with that considering the other guys he's around. Maybe I could bump him up 1. But overall, I don't know. These are not looking good too far. Jimmy at 87. Derek White at 87. What? Derek White, 87 overall. I've seen guys in the 83 overalls that I can't go too far back, but I've seen guys in the 83 overalls that I would consider in the same level. Derek White in 87 overall, that used to be reserved for some borderline superstars back in 2K18, 2K17, things like that. 87 overall for Derek White. I don't know about that at all. Zubac 87 also feels high, like 84, 85. 87 for Zubac? Are you really taking Derek White over Jimmy Butler right now? Like, seriously? Are you taking Derek White over De'Aaron Fox, Franz Wagner, DeRozan right now? Levine? Seriously? That makes no sense. Zion 87. Zion feels low. I mean, I guess not available at all, but dang, that feels a little low. Garland 87. He had a really good year last year. I would expect him to be higher. LaMelo 87. Okay, Şengün only an 87. Also, are Şengün and Sabonis? Should they be the same overall? I don't know. Who would you put over Şengün and Sabonis? That's interesting for sure. Dame 88. Sucks because of his injury, but yeah, I would not expect him to be the same player after his Achilles, of course. And then Chet Holmgren is an 88 overall. Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren. This guy is 15 points per game. I know he's the third option on a championship team. Great defender. But I can't really say he's put together a consistent sample of games, like long sample of games in his career. I just don't think he has. He's an 87 overall. Amen Thompson, by the way, I didn't talk about this too much. He's also pretty high at an 87. But you're telling me, eye test wise, I know they play different positions, but you're telling me that Chet is better than De'Aaron Fox, Chet is better than Franz Wagner, Chet is better than Zach LaVine. I just don't agree with that at all. Even Miles Turner, I would put him and Chet the same at like an 83 or 84 or something like that. I think we saw Miles Turner at like an 82 earlier. Chet at an 88. Chet is nowhere close to the 31st best player in the league. That's just my opinion. That's crazy to me. You see in the comments too, like, how are you even fathoming Austin Reeves higher than De'Aaron Fox? How are you fathoming Austin Reeves over Brandon Ingram? That's wild. All right, let's look at the top 30. Bam is an 88. So he's on the same tier as the last couple of guys. Then we have Jaren Jackson, Harden, Siakam, Mobley, Banchero, 89. So they actually didn't have him in the 90s. Kyrie, Trae Young, Jaylen Brown, and J-Dub. Bam, 88. I think that's pretty fair. Jaren Jackson, 89. Also, I think he's going to have a really good season, especially with no Desmond Bane there. He's going to have a lot more touches. James Harden, 89. I think that's cool. Siakam, 89. Maybe a tad bit high. Like, there's no... Oh, my God. Are you seriously telling me Pascal Siakam and Paolo Banchero are the same overall? They are the same level of player? I think if the Pacers had Paolo Banchero on that team last year instead of Pascal Siakam, we could see them raise the Larry O'Brien trophy. I'm being dead serious. I genuinely think that. Yeah, him at 89. So Kyrie's a whole overall higher than Paolo? J-Dub is a whole overall higher than Paolo? J-Dub? Oh my gosh. This is going to fuel... I've seen the J-Dub Paolo arguments that what if J-Dub was the number one overall option on his team? How would his career look like? But there is no way you're telling me J-Dub is a better player than Paolo Banchero. That is insane. Mobley also... I mean, I'm not going to say he feels pretty low, but he just did win Defensive Player of the Year. And we're still having him... Like, is J-Dub better than Evan Mobley? I don't think so. Jaylen Brown also. I'd probably put him over J-Dub. Trae Young in 90, Kyrie 90. Also, Kyrie's coming off the ACL. You're telling me he's going to be a better player than Evan Mobley next year off of an ACL tear? Are you serious? That makes no sense. And I love Kyrie, one of my favorite players of all time. Well, I mean, one of the greatest skilled basketball players that ever touched foot on this planet. And I just don't agree with that at all. This is, wow, Paolo Banchero under Jalen Williams. Are you serious? I think we've seen players in the 86 overall range so far in this list that I could even take over Jalen Williams. This is terrible. Next up, the top 20. D-Book 91. Ja 91. D-Book and Ja are the same level of player. Ja is better than Devin Booker right now? Come on. Ja Morant had one of the worst seasons of his career last year. Was coming off of injuries. Obviously, a lot of off-the-court stuff as well. There's no way you're telling me Devin Booker is worse than Ja Morant. I just completely disagree with that. Karl Anthony Towns, 92. Embiid, 92. You have to count the injuries, of course. So I guess, dang. Remember Embiid was considered a top 3 player in the league. He's down to 17. Cade, 92. Okay, he's getting some love. Kawhi, 92. Halliburton, 93. That feels really high. Hallie's a 93. Are you serious? I mean, similar to Chet Holmgren, but I guess in definitely a different light. When is like a real time over the last season where we saw Tyrese Halliburton string together X amount of games, like 23 plus points, 10 plus assists, and could really say he's a 93 plus overall? I don't agree with that, honestly, at all. I would take Book over him. I would take, I think Cat is close, but I would take Book over him. I would take Embiid over him for sure. Who else would I would take? I would take Cade over him. Maybe that's a hot take, but I think Cade is the better point guard than Tyrese Halliburton. Halliburton just sometimes he looks like a top 10 player in the NBA. Sometimes he looks passive on the court. I'm not going to say he looks scared, but he just won't shoot on the court, which doesn't really make too much sense to me. Obviously, his team almost won the finals, so you can't say he can't fault him 100% for that. But 93 is sort of insane. Like Tyrese Halliburton, and I'm seeing Anthony Davis at 12. Hallie and AD are the same level of player to you? Really? That's insane. Ronnie 2K. Wow, that's bad. Yeah, AD, it feels like he has to be higher. Like AD, Donovan Mitchell, Brunson, the same level as AD, and then Halliburton. Are you serious? I mean, Kawhi under Halliburton is insane by itself, but I guess also you have to count some injury. But AD, there's no way he and Halliburton are the same overall. This is also pretty bad. And finally, we have the top 10 players. They don't have like a list, so we're just going to scroll through them. KD at 93. Okay. Was there anybody I would take here? Or like KD, I feel like has to be a higher level than Donovan Mitchell. Like they can't both be 93. Same thing with Brunson. Like, come on. That's not good. Tyrese Halliburton and Kevin Durant are the same level of player to you? Are you serious? What? Come on, that's terrible. Wemby 94, that is some... Oof, they might be giving him some special treatment. Wemby's a 2 levels higher than Cat, 2 levels higher than Cade and Embiid, 2 levels higher than Kawhi Leonard. I love Victor Wembanyama. Like I said before, the Spurs are turning into one of my favorite teams in the NBA with all their pieces I love. But you can't tell me he's a whole level higher than KD. Can you? I don't know. Looks like they're really trying to push this Wemby stuff. I don't hate it, but I don't know. Like, Jason Tatum can't be the same level as Victor Wembanyama. That's just not right. I can agree with him being a higher level than KD, but him and Vic are not on the same tier of players, in my opinion. I think Tatum is 100% better. I'm wondering if they're accounting his Achilles. Like, maybe without the Achilles, he'd be like a 95, but that doesn't seem right. LeBron, maybe should be like a 93, 92. I mean, I think him and KD should be the same level, but I don't think he should be above Jason Tatum. I think that's pretty messed up. Tatum is the better player than LeBron James right now, easily. Steph, honestly, I could say the same thing about Tatum. I think him and LeBron can be the same level, but I would take Tatum over both of them for sure. There's a lot of Jason Tatum hate. Why is he so low? I wonder if people are... Is it just me? Whoa. I didn't even get to Anthony Edwards. Okay. Anthony Edwards, 1 level higher than Jason Tatum. Looks like they're still trying to push this face of the NBA stuff. Sorry the light keeps turning off, but I don't know. Ant is not better than Jason Tatum. I think we can all say that for sure. Is Ant better than Steph? Maybe. Is he better than Bron? Probably at this point, but there's no way he's better than Tatum. There's no way he's a whole level better than Jason Tatum. That is terrible right there. Ant is 95 overalls used to be reserved for KD, Bron, and Steph back in their primes, and we're giving Anthony Edwards that. Ant is the 5th best player in the league? No, he's not. Luka 95. Okay. I mean, I don't think that him and Tatum should be a whole level difference. Giannis 90. All right, so they're just no 96ers. They're just going from 95 to 97. Giannis, Shea, and Jokic. In my opinion, Giannis, Shea, and Jokic should all be on the same. Or it should be Jokic and Giannis, one above Shea. But Shea did just win MVP, one of the most efficient seasons of all time. So I understand why they put him at 98. But my personal preference is I think Giannis is still the best player in the league. Just my opinion. He's just too dominant. You can obviously make your case for Jokic and Shea, but what I feel right here is that Giannis is number 1, or at least tied. But is Giannis really a one level lower than Shea and Jokic? I don't really agree. This was definitely interesting for sure, and I mean the game comes out in like a week, so I'm guessing they posted a lot more updates in terms of what they're gonna have in the game. So I guess check that out if you want to. This was definitely interesting. I'd say my biggest gripes with it, because this is technically a top 100 list. First of all, Paolo Banchero in no sense should be one level underneath Jalen Williams. That's just not true. That will probably never be true. So that's terrible. That sucks. Like Kyrie cannot be better off of an ACL tear than Paolo Banchero. That's not right. And then Wemby might be a level high, but Ant a level higher than Jason Tatum. Really? LeBron is not better than Tatum. As much as I love LeBron, no, in no universe is he higher than Tatum. I think Castle was pretty high considering he was above guys like Jalen Johnson, Denny Avdia, and then Cooper Flag. Same level as Trey Murphy, better than Jalen Johnson. Get out of here. This was terrible. This sucked like really badly. Hope you guys enjoyed the video though. Remind me what more videos I should make on in the YouTube comments. Also, I guess use the Google form. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.